Happy Thursday, Genderqueer Chat. This is Sid, and this week's topic had me kind of stumped for a while because I was having difficulty thinking of any genderqueer characters or representations in the media at all, really. And I was beginning to think that I was going to have to talk about how we are represented as invisible or non-existent, and then I began to slowly churn up a few recollections in my memory, and a little bit of it is kind of interesting, I think. The best, stone cold genderqueer character, in my opinion, there are different ways you can interpret this character, that I have seen anytime recently is Sam from this 3-season series called The Riches that ran a few years ago. And fantastic series, ended on a cliffhanger. But they had this character, Sam, young boy, youngest of the lot, and generally I see this character referred to as a cross-dresser. But I don't think that's a very good way of summing this character up. Sam is this biological boy who does sometimes dress as a girl, does sometimes represent as a girl, but sometimes will just wear, say, boys' clothes with a barrette in his hair and that sort of thing. And is a very sophisticated, very nuanced identification to this character. And Sam's parents, how they respond to this character, I think are just fascinating. They love Sam deeply. Sam is crazy smart and has a lot of what makes this family so amazing flowing through his veins. And his parents are sometimes, particularly at first in the series, a little thrown off by this behavior, but it's accepted as just Sam being Sam. And through the course of events in this series, Sam's dad actually ultimately has this kind of moment of crisis in which he realizes that when it comes right down to it, he can only just say, "This is Sam." And the other characters outside of the central family to the plot line are all cool with it. They kind of follow the lead of the main character there. And so I would say this is the one most stand out genderqueer character that I think has been given any real attention in the media. I bet if you went through some of the episodes of Torchwood, you would probably be able to find a few that were aliens or traveling through time or something like that, because that show really fleshes out some wild ideas. But they're not really, people you would run into on the street. Then you look back historically, and I think that we have been treated as kind of comedic characters. You've got Pat from Saturday Night Live representing the sort of, what is it, androgynous blob. And you'll see in situation comedies on TV and things like that, a character who is single and looking for love, facing up against various prospects out there, and it's not uncommon to see someone who is gender non-conforming kind of appear on the list and immediately discarded for a bit of awkwardness or comic relief or something like that. And so we are kind of this little throwaway gag a lot of the time. But I think there's a lot of room for improvement. And I think that this will actually take place because the media is always kind of trying to stay a couple of steps behind society to catch the 80%. And so I think we'll see a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more of it. And within my lifetime, gender nonconformity will be treated as fairly normal in much of mainstream media. That's what I think. What about you? What's your angle on all this? Have you seen anything that I'm not thinking of? Can you think of some really great examples? That was my best shot. If you haven't watched The Riches, it's really awesome. If nothing else, I bet you can find some great clips of Sam on YouTube.